So on Friday I made a video for you guys, and on that video the comment section was flooded about hims and hers, and for me to do a video on what is going on with hims and hers and the CEO being in trouble. The CEO of hims and hers did make some political tweets the other day, and today I will say my opinions on this subject. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get started. Now I don't know if you've seen, but Berkshire Hathaway did their annual meeting, which they always do on a Saturday, which is like the Super Bowl for investor. And Warren Buffett came on to talk about a few things. I've not listened to the full interview yet. I'm going to do that over the weekend because there's always a lot of good information out there. Obviously, it wasn't with Charlie this time, which was a little bit sad. But there's a lot of things there that I want to listen to, talk about EVs, AI, and his thoughts on AI. But the big thing that I have watched is actually talking about Berkshire Hathaway actually reduced their Apple stake. Now, obviously, I was quite negative on Apple the other day. A lot of things I am not liking there, and obviously Warren Buffett has reduced his stake. Now, he's never going to come out and actually say why he's reduced it because he still has a big holding. So he's not going to talk negative about a holding he does have. One of the big things he does say is because of tax purposes and the change in the tax rate. However, obviously, the big thing I would take away is that if he's selling his stake, there's something that he doesn't like there. That's why he is reducing it overall. And the cash position they have is just absolutely massive now. So yeah, anyway, that's something that I wanted to point out that's definitely worth a listen to over the bank holiday weekend if you need something to fill in the gap. What also was annoying is DraftKings. I don't know if you saw DraftKings on Friday, but the stock was up like 4 or 5% off like 10 out of 10 earnings. And the frustrating thing is the stock did drop. It didn't only just drop, it actually turned negative, which was massive. It's like a 7% swing on the day, which is annoying from a stock that was up so much, that brought out 10 out of 10 earnings. It's a little bit frustrating, but however, that's the stock market sometimes, guys. It doesn't make sense. Just like how it didn't make sense, DraftKings was a $9 stock a year ago. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, guys, and sometimes you just got to go. The main thing is the financials moved in the perfect direction with the best earnings report out of earnings season, a 10 out of 10 report, and you just got to accept it, guys. The big thing that I took away is that the financials are massively moving in the right direction, and that's the most important thing. Anyway, let's get on to hims and hers, because that's what the video is titled about, and that's what you've probably clicked on the video for. Now, hims and hers, what I'm going to say before I do start this video is what I always say. The video is around a lot of political things that are going on, and I do not want to get involved in it. I do not want to say my opinion. I do not need to express my opinion to you. You know, everyone feels like nowadays they've got to force their opinion onto someone and say, I'm right, you're wrong. And I don't want the video to be like that. And obviously with the whole war situation that's going on at the moment between Palestine and Israel, I will always say what I always say about a lot of war situations, that in this day and age, I still can't believe countries go to war with each other that leads to thousands of people dying. The fact that we are still in that place is still bonkers to me. And any war should not happen. That's what I will say on this sort of situation. And I know people will still be in the comment section typing away saying, oh, Jacob supports this side and this side. I'm leaving that out of the video. Like, there will be people that try and say that I'm supporting a certain side. That's my opinion on the situation, and I don't want to take a side. All I will say is that war is not good, and it's unnecessary that causes many people and innocent people to die in these sort of situations. That's what I will say on it. Anyway, hims and hers. So the CEO put out a tweet which was talking about the whole Palestine situation. So he said basically, moral courage beats college degree. If you're currently protesting against the genocide of the Palestine people, and talk about that's more important than your degree, basically. So he basically came out and said to a lot of people that are protesting at universities against the likes of Israel, you're doing the right thing, and that's more important than your degree. And he said that there are plenty of companies and CEOs eager to hire you regardless of university discipline. And then he actually put down at the bottom, apply here, and he put hims and hers, the company that he is the CEO of and actually I own shares of. And that caused a big backlash. It was viewed a lot, and there was a lot of comments on it. It made a lot of mainstream media as well. It led to a lot of people saying they're going to boycott hims and hers. As you can see, it even made it onto the Daily Mail. It must have been a good story because they didn't just run it once, they ran it twice. Now, what I'll say about this is that, first of all, from the media point of view, is that if you look, this was basically a story that was posted one day ago, and it was actually posted around about four hours ago again. So it must have been a good viewed story because they did it twice, basically. And the thing about this is that it suddenly gained attraction, because actually if you look at when this got the attention from the media, it was about a day ago. Now, if you actually look at when the actual tweet was actually posted, this was actually posted on the 1st of May. So it's actually taken a good 3 or 4 days. Like, this wasn't a instant reaction to this tweet. It's actually taken a few days for this to kind of come out. And if you look at the headlines from the Daily Mail says that the stock plummets 8% after the CEO, posted these tweets basically. And if you actually look at the stock, yeah, it had a bad day on Friday, down 8%, and that's what a lot of people led to going, oh, it's because of the tweets. But if you actually look at the tweets itself, it's actually was on the 1st of May. So it's not like there was an instant reaction to this tweet. It's taken a few days to go and then affects the stock price and it to catch the media attention. So I think this is more just a reaction to, obviously the media's tension that is out there at the moment. Now, Andrew Dunham himself has previously actually done tweets like this. He has said that all leaders and CEOs should use their platform today to call for immediate ceasefire. Now, he posted this on the 10th of November. Now, I don't think that this was a bad tweet. He's not supporting a side. He's saying that, there should be a ceasefire. Some people will say that he should probably still not do this tweet. However, he's not supporting a side. He's saying about a ceasefire, and that's, I don't think that's a major issue here. Obviously, even during this tweet, he got a lot of negativity. There was a lot of negativity on the tweets in the comment section, replying to it. Obviously, this was a bit of a new one, saying I cancelled my Hims and Hair subscription. But if you actually go on that tweet from the 10th of November, there was also a lot of negative tweets replying to that one on that time frame. Now, obviously, since that time frame, it hasn't affected the company. The company have still massively, brought out fantastic earnings. Since the time frame of that tweet, that was the 10th of November. So if you actually go back to the 10th of November on the share price, you can see here the stock actually from the bottom to the top went up 142%. Obviously, it's having a bit of a pullback at the moment, which is nothing really to do with the tweet because it was already pulling back before that time frame. So you can see here that he's done political tweets before and it hasn't affected the share price or the sales at all. It has actually gone up. Now, this was obviously a little bit more extreme because he's obviously, from a ceasefire point of view, he's actually then going to support a side, and he's also directly linked his company into here, which is, I think, is the big no-no. I don't think he can go that far as an active CEO. Now, sometimes it doesn't hurt your business. We've seen other companies before, like Visa, for example. People still are happy to use Visa. There's a lot of companies like Bud Light, for example, that have caused a little bit of political tension, and that has affected them a little bit. But then when you look at Bud Light's share price from when all that happened, yeah, there was a bit of a dip, but it's now higher than where that was. So that's recovered it. So they can sometimes hurt the company a little bit more in the short term. Maybe it damages the reputation a little bit in the longer term. But we've seen before where something like this can massively get brushed under the carpet and it doesn't affect the company at all. So I wouldn't jump to conclusions and say this is going to massively hurt the company. However, if you are continuously doing tweets like this, maybe it does. And that does come a concern. Now, for me, when I do look at Andrew Dunham as an active CEO, I don't think he should be doing these tweets. I think something like the tweet that he did previously, I think is okay. I'd prefer for him not to get involved in political situations as an active CEO. For me, this tweet that he did the other day is a no-no. I don't think you go as far as supporting a certain side during a war situation. And the fact that you're supporting a certain side, I'm not saying if he's correct, I'm not saying if he's incorrect on the side that he supports, but I think if you do pick a side, like Palestine, for example, I don't think you go that far. And the big issue that he has as well is that obviously he's based in the US. Now, the US, once again, I'm not saying if this is right or if this is wrong, they support Israel at the moment during the situation. And because you have a lot of people supporting Israel in the US, you cannot be living in a country that's supporting a certain country and then come out and support the opposite side. Like I said, I'm not saying if it's right or wrong what the US is doing. I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't be supporting a side. And I'm not saying if Andrew Dunham is doing the right thing, supporting this side or not supporting this side, but you don't do it as an active CEO. This is something you don't get involved in. You get involved in managing your business, and that's the main thing. And you don't hurt your current business that you're currently managing as an active CEO. Now, I could have maybe let the first bit go, but the fact that then he has directly linked it to come apply for our company here is you don't then link your business to this tweet. That's the first bit is for me a no. You don't do it. The second thing to say, "Oh, come for apply for my job here," and linking his business directly and tying his company to this tweet is certainly a no-no. I don't think you ever go as far as doing that. So the first bit I don't like, but the second bit is definitely you don't do that. You don't do that as a shareholder, as a CEO of a business. You don't do that. Now, looking at the background of Andrew Dunham, he does have family relations to Pollenstein. So this is probably a personal issue for him. It's probably an emotional issue. And you could probably see why he's certainly dictating to one side here. But if this is a situation where he feels strongly that he needs to be campaigning for this, then my place would be either that you, for now, you say, I'm moving away from the business and focusing on that. I don't think you can actively do both. And as a CEO, he should have the responsibility now of going, you know what, I want to go down the political route and get myself involved in this situation. That's fine, but you do it separate from your current business, managing the business, and you don't tie your business to it. And that's what you should do as a CEO, in my opinion, from here. He either stops doing the tweets, or he can still do the tweets, but he has to move away from the ties of the business, in my opinion. And I don't think he can keep doing these tweets as the current CEO would be my. Someone would have to. I think someone should pull him to the side now and go, you got to calm down a little bit here with these sort of tweets here. Now, am I going to sell my Hims and Hers shares? Not at the moment. I'm not going to sell the shares, but it's something that I'm watching. And if I see him continuously do these tweets, and then it does go affect that, so many people do cancel subscriptions, then obviously if it financially hurts the business, I will sell my stock. And that would probably be a sign that people are boycotting the company. But the other thing is that maybe that it's financially not performing so well because he's taken the eye off the ball, because he's focusing so much time on something else that's hurting the financials. And we'll have a clear idea in probably a few days' time, because Hims and Hers are going to report in a few days' time. And if the stock comes out with once again really impressive earnings, it's happy days. But if we do start seeing some weakness in the financials and it's clear that there's a boycotting going on and obviously his focus is being taken away as a CEO, that would be the time where I do sell my shares. So it's something that I'm actively managing this situation at the moment, and it would be very sad for me to move away from this business if this was to continue because of these reasons, because I think the company could do very well. But there's a point where you've got to go, if it's affecting financially the business, that would be an issue where you have to, have a rethink on the situation here. So yeah, overall my thoughts is that it's certainly something to manage at the moment, and I'm hoping somebody gives him a bit of a nudge in the right direction and says, you've just got to be careful about what you're putting out here as an active CEO. I don't think you can do it as an active CEO, and you've got to manage your role. You've got to. It's okay doing it detached from the business, but I don't think you can do it both ways. And I hope someone, one of the board members, grabs him to one side at the moment and says, look, you've got to go either one way where you're managing this company, or you leave the company and you go down the political route. You can't do both at the same time. So we'll keep an eye on it at the moment, and that's my thoughts on it at the moment anyway. So we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's the video for today, guys. I hope that clears up my thoughts on the current situation. It is something that I am actively watching at the moment, but yeah, that's my thoughts. Right, thanks for watching. See you in a bit.